Hey, just a sec. Why are you attending anyway?
Excuse me? Good evening. What do you mean?
Seriously? You playing dumb? It's our mom's lunch gathering, for goodness sake. I got wind from the others that you're planning to show up.
Well, it just so happens I was free that day. Ellie and Grace extended an invitation, so I thought why not?
No way. You've gotta be kidding. What gives you the right to decide on your own?
Huh?
You just don't fit in. You absolutely must not come.
Don't fit in? What do you mean I don't fit in?
Seriously? Do you not see the problem here? A 43-year-old woman having lunch with us? You stick out like a sore thumb.
Granted, I am that age, but
So don't come.
excuse me?
Look, I'm in my 20s. Ellie and Grace, they're what? In their 30s? I can handle hanging out with people in their 30s. Plus, Ellie and the rest are stunners, aren't they? But regardless of how youthful you try to appear, there's no way I'm lunching with a woman over 40. I don't want to be seen as pals with an age-defying matron.
That's harsh.
Huh? Aren't you the one who's out of line? You're just trying to boost your ego by blending in with young, attractive moms. Or are you trying to pull the seniority card? That's just not going to fly.
I don't have any such intentions. I simply wish to get along with the mothers of my children's friends.
That's rather presumptuous.
Excuse me?
The generation gap is just too wide and it kills the vibe of the conversation.
I've never felt that way.
Well, it happens. You're the only one who thinks it doesn't.
By the way, wasn't it Myra who's the instigator, who proposed this mom's gathering?
The instigator. That's so out of date.
Myra's the organizer, isn't she?
So what?
I've been friends with Myra for a long time. I don't see why I can't be part of it. Huh?
Myra's kind and beautiful. She's being hoodwinked by you. Why on earth are you in Myra's circle of mom friends? Just get lost.
Why should I have to listen to this from you, Lindsay?
Ah, I see. Young, gorgeous, kind Myra is left with no choice but to be friendly. Poor Myra.
It's not like that between us.
That's only your perception. You're unbelievably brazen. Just the thought of you considering yourself as Myra's mom friend is presumptuous. Myra's in that mom friend circle. You sticking around just doesn't fit the bill. She's just too nice to say no. That's the only reason you're here.
Wow, aren't you the one being harsh here?
What? All I'm doing is laying down some truth. I'm speaking up for Myra because she can't. Just back off, will you?
Listen,
Cut it out! You're a serious pain. And Ellie and Grace are just as bothersome as you. Am I right?
What?
You're all part of the same crew, right? That's why you got invited in the first place, isn't it?
What do you mean the same crew?
Just what it sounds like. You, Ellie, and Grace are all part of the same crew.
Sure, we've been tight since we became mom friends.
That's not what I'm getting at.
Huh?
You guys should all bow out of the next mom friends meetup.
Huh? Why?
Just zip it. And don't bother showing up. Seriously, stay away. Day of the lunch gathering. Are you serious? You went home because you got slapped? Old gals are pretty frail, right?
Lindsay, you're the one who told me to leave and even had the nerve to slap me right in front of everyone.
What's this? A 43-year-old throwing a fit because she got an earful from a 20-something? Ew.
It's not about being upset.
Then what it is?
Didn't you slap juice all over Ellie and Grace and even dump food on them?
Oh, my arm just sort of swung out and they were in the way. Can't help that, right? It's not like I did it on purpose.
Anyway, you slice it. It sure looked intentional.
What? Looking for a fight? They went to wash up without a peep. Don't see why I need to hear it from someone who's not even involved.
You really are something.
Huh? It's your fault for showing up when I told you not to. You storm off in a huff, just like an old bat. I'm laughing so hard I can't breathe. Did my slap stretch out your wrinkles? I'll be sure to do it next again at our next lunch.
I am filing a police report right now.
What? The police?
I figured I'd get the report in while the evidence is still fresh.
You ran straight to the cops after leaving?
Yes,
Why the cops?
I just dropped by the station on my way home. You should be happy since I left, right?
I didn't tell you to go to the police.
Excuse me? Since when do I have to do what you say? I'm free to act as I please.
You left because I told you to, right? So stop going to the police. It's an order.
Huh? Since when are you the boss, Lindsay?
If you're going to listen to me, then do it.
Whoa, slow down there. I didn't leave because you told me to. I left to file a police report. FYI, Myra and the others already know.
In the end, you still left.
Not the same. There's a huge difference between leaving because you told me to and leaving because I decided to. You don't get that? Is it because you're young? Oh wait, no. It's because you're a bit thick, isn't it?
What? Thick?
Yeah, that's why you're all about looks and age, right? That's all you've got to offer.
What? What's your deal? You're beyond rude.
Wait, what? How can you, of all people, have the nerve to say something like that, considering the rude stuff you've always been spouting? I just gave you a taste of your own medicine.
What on earth is this old bat on about? There's no way the cops would get mixed up in a petty squabble between mom friends. Are you out of your mind?
Huh? You clearly don't get it. The cops are actually taking this pretty seriously, you know. That's why you get called slow.
What?
This is a case of assault, you realize.
Assault? You kidding me?
You slapped me right across the face. My cheeks are all scratched up because of your fake nails. Heck, the marks might even be permanent.
What?
That's basically a case of assault, wouldn't you say?
That's nuts. All of this happened because you didn't listen to my warning. It's not my fault. You should be blaming yourself for not paying attention to me.
Warning?
I told you to steer clear out of mom friends group.
Oh, that pointless rant of yours, you mean?
Pointless? I told you not to show up because you're a nuisance. You always stir up trouble, you old windbag.
Who else called the old windbag a nuisance?
What?
Did anyone else say something like that?
Well, nobody said that exactly, but
figured as much. Before you came to these mom friends meetups, we all hang out just fine. No problems.
Really?
Yes. You just don't like me and invented all this baloney. Just ridiculous blabber I shouldn't pay any mind to, right?
What?
You throwing around slaps and spilling juice and food on Ellie and Grace. That was all your bias talking, right?
No. Everyone agrees with me, even Myra.
Really now? Did they actually say that? Did Myra?
She didn't voice it, but her eyes spoke volumes.
Huh? Her eyes? Can you explain the kind of look she had?
It was the kind of look that says you guys are annoying.
Oh, is that so? You received it that way. Interesting.
What's that supposed to mean? Nobody objected to what I did, right?
Well, true.
So that means everyone's on my side, right? I didn't do anything wrong.
So, if everyone acts a certain way, you think it gives you the right to come down on us?
Yes.
So, if everyone absolutely felt that way, You wouldn't hesitate to harm us, even risk our lives?
What? I didn't go that far.
But what you're doing amounts to the same thing, doesn't it?
What?
You did injure us after all. It wouldn't be a stretch to think it could get worse.
That's blowing things out of proportion.
And you know, it's true no one booed. But that's because no one wanted to disrupt the restaurant and bother other patrons.
Huh? Other patrons?
A commotion could lead to reputational damage for the restaurant. Everyone was just avoiding that.
What? That's just how you choose to interpret it, right?
No, it's not just my interpretation.
How can you make assumptions like that?
Because that restaurant belongs to Myra.
What? What does that mean, Myra's restaurant?
I figured you didn't know. You've only known her since your kids started elementary school, right?
What?
All the moms who gathered today have been mom friends since our kids were in kindergarten.
What?
That should come out to 4 years. For Myra, Ellie, and Grace, it's been 8 years since their older kids were together too.
Really?
We've been having these mom friends meetings off and on for a long time, but whenever Myra organizes, we usually go to her place.
What do you mean by Myra's place?
Just what I said. Myra owns a few restaurants.
What? I thought she was just a classy stay-home mom. A businesswoman?
Why on earth did you think Myra was just a classy stay-at-home mom to begin with?
'Cause she's a sweetheart, a stunner, chilled out, and oozing charisma.
Are you for real? Sure, she's a knockout, might have that charisma thing going on, but chill? That's a swing and a miss.
What?
She's a super ambitious boss lady. She's been upping her game each year, adding more spots to her empire, and even planning to branch out beyond the food biz.
No way.
Impressive, right? Our dear Myra has you completely bamboozled.
Don't you dare mouth Myra. Just because I'm out of the loop, you're taking shots at Myra.
Did I take shots at Myra? I simply pointed out that she's a go-getting businesswoman.
Give it a rest.
Hold up, Lindsay. Are you really this smitten with Myra?
Despite knowing zip about her, I just found out she's a go-getter. I'm not totally in the dark.
Now, she's not exactly the saint here, tricking a 20-something girl.
Say what?
Well, she probably doesn't think she's playing anyone, but essentially, she is.
Listen, have you lost your marbles? I can't make heads or tails of what you're saying. Speak English, will you?
No, I was just mulling over how another one bites the dust.
Who bit the dust from whom?
You did, from Mai.
Why do you call her Mai? It's Myra.
That's where you're nitpicking.
You bet, it's Myra.
Chill out. She and I are old school buddies.
Huh?
Mai and I have been sidekicks since grade school. We're both 43.
Huh? Myra is 43?
Yup.
No freaking way.
Swear to God, Myra and I, we grew up here. The elementary school our kids go to, we're alumni. Our current principal was our class teacher. Go ahead, ask him if you think I'm pulling your leg.
For real? Really?
Yep, see? It wasn't Myra who was played. You were.
Why didn't you spill the beans?
Huh? I was going to, but you had zero interest in anything I had to say, right?
That's...
I did tell you that Myra and I go way back.
Yeah, you did.
But Lindsay, you've been hurling quite some zingers my way, haven't you? Calling me old hag and old windbag. Did you realize you were picking a fight with Myra too?
Oh.
You didn't hold back on the old hag name-calling in front of Myra, did you?
I didn't know, okay?
Actually, it's a mystery to me how you knew I was 43.
Your daughter spilled the beans to mine.
Ah, I see. We're actually quite a big tribe, you know. We've got a whole crew of moms our age, or from our class.
Really?
Lots of moms with other kids too, and a good number of us around 40.
You don't say.
I wonder, I really look that ancient since you keep calling me an old hag?
No, it's not that. It's just the notion of you being 43.
I'm kinda bummed, you know. Wonder if I could sue for slander or emotional distress.
What?
But honestly, from our perspective, you're the unicorn, you know.
What?
I hate to say it, but isn't being a 22-year-old mom with a first grader kinda rare?
Well,
When we had a first PTA meeting, you were the lone youngling standing out like a sore thumb. Didn't you have a single mom buddy? And you look quite out of place, didn't you?
maybe.
Seeing you like that, Myra reached out, and that's when you started putting her on a pedestal, right?
True, but
Sure, Myra was the one who broke the ice, but I planted the seed.
what?
Didn't plan to drag this up, but I don't like seeing Ellie and Grace getting a bad rap. So here goes.
What are you saying?
From day one, you stood out, being so young and all. I was keeping an eye on you,
Why?
because you seemed scared.
Huh?
You looked like a kid who's had a kid. You were thrown into an unknown world, and your worry was written all over your face.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. That's why I flagged it to Myra, Ellie, and Grace. You've been tight since kindergarten. I said, do you think she's doing okay? Oh, true to her can-do spirit, Myra said, let me have a chat with her, and she made the first move. And the rest, as they say, is history.
So, are you telling me that it wasn't just Myra who was concerned about me, but also you, Ellie, and Grace?
That's about the size of it.
Why didn't you guys say something before?
Well, you were so busy putting Myra on a pedestal and dismissing the rest of us as old hags that you wouldn't listen to a word we said.
But,
It's water under the bridge now, so to you, I'm just an old hag, huh? That's a little hurtful, you know.
my bad.
But really, cut it out with the trash talking about Ellie and Grace. They're good people.
I get it.
I'm glad you do. However, that doesn't mean we can just forget about what you've done.
What?
You've hurt me, and Ellie, and Grace got scalded from the hot soup and food you spilled on them.
Wait, what? For real?
You mentioned earlier they went to the restroom, but they actually had to go to the hospital.
No way.
They had to rush to a hospital that Myra knows about. They might even end up with scars.
You're kidding.
And Myra's restaurant got trashed too. The sofa's stained, dishes are broken, and it's stirred up quite a mess. Looks like you might be on the hook for some damages.
Is this a joke? Please tell me you're joking.
I wish I was.
No. I don't have the money for that. I'm still in my 20s. I'm not like you old hags. I haven't even lived my half-life yet, and I'm not rolling in dough.
Old hags? Half alive?
Um,
Hmm, I see. You've made yourself quite clear.
Jackie?
As an older woman, I see it as my duty to guide you towards a better future.
What?
We're going to file a full damage report and claim for medical bills and emotional distress.
What?
And it's all for your own good, all right?
Hold up. If it's for my good, then stop with the suing and demanding. It's like the old hags are just ganging up on the young girl.
The truth finally comes out. Did even Myra become an old hag because I told you her age? See? You're still young. It's time to take responsibility. Expect a call from a lawyer soon. Brace yourself.
What? Lawyer? Wait a second, you old hag?
Afterwards, Lindsay was clearly rattled by our bold declaration. She went straight home and disappeared as though she'd run away in the middle of the night. But she can't hide that easily, can she? We've already filed our damage report so that police are on the hunt for Lindsay. By the next day, they located her and secured her whereabouts. Now we're working on both criminal and civil proceedings. Apparently, Lindsay had previously felt ostracized by older kindergarten moms at her old residence, which explains why she was so aggressive towards me. But I doubt she was excluded just because she was young. Observing Lindsay, I guessed that there were underlying issues with her from the start. My sincerest hope is that this harsh lesson will encourage her to reflect and make some changes as both an adult and a parent.